Chodesh Tov, everybody. Okay, take 3. Let's see if this wants to work right now. Switched over to the web streaming. Unfortunately, that means no fun music tonight or pretty pictures other than me, which makes me sad, but hopefully the rest of you will be all right. So one more time, good evening, Chodesh Tov. My name is Ketzirah. If you are watching this live, then you've seen our false starts. If you're watching the replay, we had a little technical difficulties. So we are going to be going without all the fancy schmancy music tonight and all the pretty pictures that I like to use, because for some reason it just did not want to play nice. And better to have a stream that isn't like stop motion than the extra fun music that I like to work in. So tonight is Rosh Chodesh, and it's Rosh Chodesh Tevet, actually, and we are in the fun time, which is it's during Hanukkah, and Hanukkah falls at the end of Kislev and the first couple of days of Tevet, or Tevet. If you've been here with us before, you know that I am very inconsistent on which syllable I place the emphasis on due to growing up learning Ashkenazi Hebrew and then as an adult trying to study modern Israeli Hebrew. So my Hebrew is now worse than ever when it comes to my pronunciation. So the service, I have posted the link in the chat room. It is the same one that we've been using here at One Shul for some time. And tonight it'll be me singing, as opposed to the lovely recorded music that I often have. So let us all take a nice deep breath and join together in this space. And I'll do the briefing for those who are new tonight. We have a very simple service. We begin with creating of our sacred space, which we do through singing everyone into the space through the name by which they wish to be known as in this space. That could be your Hebrew name, it could be your English name, it could be a word that is resonant for you of what you need to work on in this month, or what it is you're trying to do in the world. Then we move into expressions of gratitude for the month that has passed. We then spend a moment or two exploring the month to come. And then we do prayers for strength about the month to come. We begin with gratitude, but always acknowledge that there are many things in our lives that we could use a little help with. And then we finish with receiving of energy and just opening ourselves up to divine blessings from the Holy One, from within, from without, however you understand it. And that will be my standard segue to the disclaimer. As many of you know, I am a Kohenet. And part of the practice of being a Kohenet is to pray in the divine feminine, bringing balance to our vision and the manifestation of the Holy One in the world. If praying in feminine God language is not appropriate for you, then I welcome and absolutely invite you to use God language that is appropriate for you. The Holy One is multifaceted enough to hold all the many names and faces that we each see, understand, and experience. And again, One Shul is a very pluralistic synagogue and shul. So what one person's understanding and interpretation of Judaism may not be the same for everyone. So I absolutely invite and welcome you to share your thoughts as we go along. And if I have an interpretation of something that's different than what you know, please share yours as well. So we will begin with singing ourselves into our space tonight. I'll read our statement of intent as always, and then we'll begin with our Baruch Hu, and I'll ask you to share, if you will, your name in the chat room that you wish to be sung into the space as. So our intent tonight, as most months, is to come together as a community and welcome in the new month and give thanks for all the blessings in the month that has passed, ask for strength in the month to come, and open ourselves to receiving blessings of divine energy. So now, if you will, sharing your names in the chat room, sing with me, drum if you're a drummer, or just listen, or just share in the chat room what it is you're feeling. Baruch Hu dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When we call on the light of our souls, we come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Ariel ben Yohanan, you have called on the light of your soul. You've come home. Baruch Hu, dear ones, Eliav, Eliana, and Gershom, you have called on the light of your souls. Welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear ones, Ashlyn and Darian, you have called on the light of your souls. Welcome home. All together. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. You have called on the light of your soul. Welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. We have called on the light of our souls. We've come home. Blessed are you, Holy One of the many names and many faces. May each of our names that we have spoken aloud, spoken in our hearts, or heard in the tiny place in the back of our minds, be a name of the Holy One, manifesting your name, your presence in the world. Amen. And that is a chant that is derived from one, to the best of my knowledge, by Rabbi Hannah Tiferet Siegel. So welcome to Darian, who is joining us midway through. I want to welcome whoever it is that has joined us as a guest. I hope you'll log in and share your name with us. And let's take the moment here to do as we usually do here at One Shul, and share in the chat room where in the world you are. I know from seeing the names we have people from all over the world, mostly the United States, but I certainly see at least that one name that I know is not from the United States. So please take that moment to share in the chat room where you're from so people can see what a diverse community we are from all over the world. And I am from Washington, D.C. Well, not originally, but I've been here for a long time now, and it's where I'm coming to you from tonight. So we have Leesburg, Georgia. We have Houston, Texas. We have San Antonio, Texas. We have Poland. We're not even bothering with the city. I'm an American. You tell me, unless it's Warsaw, I'm not going to know where it is. That's terrible, but it's true, actually. But actually, Ari, if you share your city, I will go look it up so I can see where in the world you are, as opposed to just Poland, which is a whole country. Southern Ontario in Canada, and Fresno, California, which is probably a little warmer than DC right now. So we have all different time zones. We have some people who it's the middle of the night at this point, and some people who where the sun is not even setting. Oh, Gdansk. Okay, Ari, I actually do know of that, where that is. Thankfully, it's a town I've heard of. Oh, I'm so terrified. You know, it's terrible. Americans are so ignorant sometimes of other countries and what's in them. I think it's just because our country is so big that learning where things are in our own country is hard. But yes, I do know where that is. And at some point, Ari, I'm going to look at what that picture is you have as your icon right now. Ah. All right. So our expressions of gratitude. Every single month we begin here. We begin with what we are grateful for, because it is too easy in our culture today to focus on what is negative and forget that every moment of the day that we're alive and we're breathing and we're able to get on the internet is a miracle. So many things have to go right to actually get us here together tonight. And Ari, you're not just here to educate us poor Americans. You are here to be an amazing part of this community and hopefully get for yourself, as well as to offer a little international culture to our service. So we begin with our gratitude. As always, I am so grateful for all of you for being here, the entire One Shul community, to our fearless leader, Patrick Aleph, in his very brave voice that he continues to share with the world and inspire the rest of us to share ours with the world. I am grateful for my husband and my family, for the sisterhood of the Kohanot, and so many other things. And I will move us into our chant and invite you all during that to share what you are grateful for in the chat room. Remember, with our chant, it is Moda Ani, which means I am grateful. It's from the morning prayer service traditionally, but we use it here because it fits so well. Moda Ani for the ladies, Moda Ani for the gentlemen, and Lifanecha if you wish to use masculine God language, and Lifanaich if you wish to use feminine God language. Oh, and Chodesh Tov, Aaron, good to have you here. So with that, let's kick it off and get a little more singing going with our Moda Ani chant. And this chant is by our good friend and the good friend of the One Shul community, Taya Sher, also known as Holy Taya, who so lovingly lets us finish up. I'm reading and talking. Lets us use her chants and usually the audio tracks, but since, well, I had to stop using that form, we're going to have me singing tonight. Moda Ani lefanecha, Moda Ani lefanecha, Ruach Chai v'kayam. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Moda Ani lefanecha, Moda Ani lefanecha, Ruach Chai v'kayam. Oh, we are grateful for good health community, for people in our lives, for our wife and kids. Moda Ani lefanecha, Moda Ani lefanecha, Ruach Chai v'kayam. Oh, we are grateful for a successful semester, for finding keys, for miracles large and small. Moda ani lefanayich, moda ani lefanayich, ruach chai v'kayam. Oh, we are grateful. Oh, we are grateful for our husbands and wives and the joy they bring. Moda ani lefanecha, moda ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'kayam. Oh, we are grateful for one shul leaders and teachers, for Patrick Aleph and the community. One last time the real words. Moda ani lefanayich, moda ani lefanayich, ruach chai v'kayam. Oh, we are grateful. Oh, we are grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Oh, we are grateful. Oh, we are grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Blessed are you, Holy One, who gives us the ability to wake each day, the miracles of morning, noon, and night, the miracle of the sun shining, the moon shining, the changing times and seasons, the internet, and the ability to connect with community all over the world. Amen. And yes, we have a few new names and faces tonight. I see one guest who is with us and one viewer. I definitely want to invite our viewer to log into the chat room so you're able to fully participate. If you don't want to, that's okay too. So we're up to a minion. We have 10. Did I say 12? 10? So fabulous. But you know what? If there were just 2 of you here, that would be fabulous too. If you're just joining us, which 1 or 2 of you are, please share, I hope, if you will, where in the world you physically are. We have people all the way from Gdansk, Poland, to Ontario, Canada, Texas, Georgia, Washington, D.C., and many other places being represented here in our community tonight. As you might be able to see, my very large menorah in the window behind me, and also that's my bunny critter house. They don't live there, they just hang out there occasionally. That's below it in the windows, and yes, that is a pet portrait of my first bunnies. You can probably see too. I'm gonna, there we go, stick my head in front of that. There we go, hide the bunny portrait. But my bunnies often do guest star here on One Shul, so that's all right. Those ones you all have never met though. So that is my lovely menorah that is shining behind us. So speaking of that, it is the month that is beginning is the month of Tevet. And Tevet is a month for seeking clarity. It is a month that is all about figuring out how to see clearly and how to journey forward. It is a month of seeking. Kislev is a month of dreams and a month of seeking signs and portents, if you will, portents. And so as we move from whatever signs we may have received, this is a month Tevet of seeing clearly and figuring out what those next steps to take are, and being a seeker, but moving forward in our seeking. And it is also the second half of Hanukkah. Our last few days of Hanukkah are during this month and closes it out. And it's interesting that Hanukkah does fall over to, it is a pretty epic menorah. I'll finish my thought and then I saw the chat room. It is, the holiday falls between the 2 months, and it is always falls, Hanukkah, on the dark moon nearest the winter solstice. So we just had a leap year recently, so we've reset our years. So the solstice is next week, but very, very often this time right here is actually at the winter solstice. And in Judaism, this time is called Tekufah Tevet. Of course, Judaism being Judaism, our solstice doesn't fall on the actual solstice. Tekufah Tevet can be anywhere from 8 to 10 days in either direction. I think it's even like 14 days possibly in either direction, but it's considered the season of the solstice. And there's a lot of really beautiful traditions around that I encourage you to take a look at. We are a very ancient religion, so we have layers upon layers you can dig into. And I'm going to throw you something totally different here in the chat room. So yes, we are a very, very ancient religion with layers to dive into, but we are also a growing and modern religion. So here are my 8 pop culture reasons to be happy about Hanukkah this year. I've been on my soapbox for a couple of years to stop apologizing for Hanukkah and acknowledge that it is an important holiday. It is not a Torah holiday, I understand that. However, it is an ancient holiday that is most likely, if you look at it, built on an ancient Jewish winter solstice, ancient Israelite winter solstice holiday. We rebuild the dying light this time of year with the way we light the menorah. And there's old midrash about Adam and Chava, Eve, at this time of year and seeing the light dying and not understanding it, and that was an old version. And so there's so much to dive into. And yes, 8 reasons to be super happy about Hanukkah this year. Many pop culture ones. Oh, hi Tamara, no problem. Welcome. And one I am personally very excited about, because I'm still hoping they'll just become a sponsor, is Hebrew Schmaltz Brewing. They are in DC tonight. When we finish services, I will be heading off to my local hangout, which happens to be the bar they are taking over tonight, and enjoying a few fine kosher brews with the folks from Schmaltz Brewing, and of course my favorite hangout, which is Church Key. If you're ever in DC, please check them out. They are fabulous people there. And I did get my Sweet 16 brew this year and my entire Hanukkah pack. So super fun. So there you go. There's my silliness of fun for Hanukkah. Plus I have my epically huge menorah that my husband actually made for me our first anniversary that we were dating. And it is as big as you think it is. If you're looking behind me, you should be able to see the size of the window. And that'll give you, it's a normal size window. That should show you how darn big that thing actually is. It's gigantic. I have tea lights on it because otherwise it's 12-inch tapers. It's really big. Plus it's wood, so it lights into flame if I use regular candles. So that's what we have going on. And yeah, Aaron, I'm with you. I've always been taught that there is a lights holiday, a winter solstice holiday, a rebuilding of the light holiday that is underneath Hanukkah, that the Maccabee story was then layered onto, and the story of Judith and everything else that brings us to the holiday that we have today. And yes, actually, Schmaltz Brewing is actually, they really don't pay me to do this or give me free beer. Not yet. It is actually quite good beer. So they have Genesis Ale, Messiah Bold. They've got a pomegranate one, needless to say. Love that one. So it's lovely stuff, and they're very fun people from the couple of times I've gotten to meet them over the years from events like the one I'm going to tonight. And of course, sufganiyot. And by the way, my version of sufganiyot is I make donut muffins. So it's I have a great recipe for it. And I brush them with olive oil instead of butter. So instead of deep frying them, I at least have something I can pretend is almost healthy. All right, so a little exploring of the month to come there, a little meandering on the month to come. Let's move into our prayers for strength. Whatever it is that you are working towards, whatever it is you need a little bit of help with in the month to come. And I'm going to take a sip of water while we think about that. What is it that you need strength for? What is it that you need the Holy One or any one of the many emissaries of the Holy One to help you with? And we'll sing Micha Mocha, which is a very appropriate chant. We'll use the Holy Taya version, which has the Hebrew, and then the English, which is actually based on a circle chant. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Dilot Osefele, Nora Dilot Osefele. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing through you and me. Adonai, guide me, be faithfully beside me. Adonai, guide me and blesses me. Sorry. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing through you and me. Shekhinah reside in me, your wisdom lives inside of me. Shekhinah reside in me, your holy of holies. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Dilot Osefele, Nora Dilot Osefele. Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing through you and me. Adonai, guide me, be faithfully beside me. Adonai, guide me and bless how I be. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing through you and me. Shekhinah reside in me, your wisdom lives inside of me. Shekhinah reside in me, your holy of holies. Yai dai 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 dai, 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 yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Dilot Osefele, Nora Dilot Osefele. Oh, so many things we need strength for in the month to come. Strength for health and healing. Strength for mindful work, especially in the path of our choice. Strength for help in this dark season, to not be caught up in the darkness and see the light struggling to return. We need strength to overcome our vices and our demons, from those things that would control us if we allow them, from those things that move through us and make us feel as though we are powerless. For all these things and so many more, those things in our hearts, those things we've spoken aloud, for all of these many things we pray for strength in the month to come. Blessed are you, Holy One, who hears our prayers, answers them, and gives us strength when we need it most, to do our work and be your hands in the world. Amen. Oh, it's a tough time of year. It is definitely for so many people. Seasonal depression, I think, affects so many more people than we allow ourselves to realize. Our culture today doesn't let us slow down at the time of year that the world around us and our bodies so often are desperate just to stop and sleep. When we have so little sunlight and the days are so short and we want to just curl up and be warm and cozy, and yet this is the time of year where everything seems to tell us to go, 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 faster, stronger, more, more, more. Ugh, I long for the world to come when we can actually align our activity with the seasons around us once again. And I absolutely hear the pain in so many of you who are struggling with health issues, and those of you who are unemployed or underemployed, and all the struggle that that brings to you personally and to your families as well. And Brian, I definitely want to send you from myself strength to quit smoking. I quit actually, I guess, about 10 years ago like Ari did. And it was one of the best things I've ever done. I gained a little weight, but these things happen. However, I haven't had a cigarette in a good 10 years, and it's really definitely something that is for the best. I know that even for me, my doctor didn't care that I was gaining weight because I had quit smoking. So strength to you in that struggle. It's such a difficult thing to do, and there are reasons so many people can't quit smoking. It is an addiction, and you have to remember that it's not that you're weak. There's something in your brain that has to switch, and it's something that you have to just have that moment click in your head and know that you can resist. And it is a demon. I think addictions are absolutely demons. And that is something to think about. If you haven't done a ritual yet, you know I'm a fan of the ritual. If you haven't done a ritual yet to help you kick the habit, maybe that's something you can do to make it something that you dedicate to the Holy One, treating your body as a sanctuary, and stopping smoking. So that might be something. Reach out to me if you need a little help with that. I'm happy to help. Oh, so many things going on. I do hope you all are having a wonderful Hanukkah, that as you rekindle the lights, it reminds you that the light is going to return. Oh, we have another week until the solstice, but it's coming back. It is, we know it does. That is how the world works. It gets darker and darker for a little bit longer, and then just inch by inch, you'll start to see the light coming back. And it's just such an amazing, amazing thing to watch this happen every year. And you can watch it as the moons change, and you know on the solstice the light is going to come back. And that's within us as well. And I think that is part of what this time of year is about, is reminding us that the light is coming back. And I invite you all to absolutely look at all the pretty lights that people are stringing up this time of year as being just for you. We have the holiday of lights. It's the Jewish holiday, Hanukkah. And so when you see all those lights, what they're doing is lighting up the darkness for us. It's such a beautiful thing. So especially those beautiful, I like the white lights on people's houses. But remember, that's what it's there for. And every time you see one, use the energy of those lights as a message from the Holy One, reminding you that the light will return, and that there are people and places and energy and the Holy One trying to light up the darkness, whether it's literal darkness or figurative darkness in your life. So look for those signs. And I want to invite you all for the next 7 days. Yes, wait, I'm gonna look at the calendar. Yes, I guess it's 7 days until the solstice, between now and the solstice. every single time it's physically getting dark outside and a light appears, I want you to take that as a sign to you that the darkness is disappearing. And I want you to say a bracha. I don't know what bracha, but find one you want to say. Make one up in the moment. Every single time that the light just pops on, whether it's a street light, whether it's dark and you notice the lights on someone's house, the light inside someone's house pops up, whatever it is, I want you to take that as a personal sign of the Holy One talking to you and telling you it's okay, that the light is coming back. And say a blessing every time that happens, and see what happens and how you feel at the end of that, of taking each of those as a positive sign every single time. And speaking of positive signs, let us move to our receiving of energy. And we will use this chant that we have used previously, though I'm slightly tempted. Nope, we're going to stick with this one. Slightly tempted, but we're going to stick with this one, and maybe I'll tack the other one on the end. So we have shared what we are grateful for. We have asked prayers for strength. Ooh, okay, so Brian has offered up a bracha for us of moments of light in the darkness. Blessed are you, Hashem, who has given me light in this moment. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Yes, let's use that. Let's post that everywhere so people know to use it. All right, so we will use that to open ourselves up to the light in the moment, whatever that light is that opens your heart, that opens your soul, that lets you feel filled and guided and directed. And we will sing our chant that we have borrowed from the Rainbow community of I am opening up in sweet surrender. And I'm probably going to segue, because I really want to do it tonight, into the song Sanctuary, which is actually an African-American spiritual based on a psalm that has been readopted by the Renewal community. I can't do the Hebrew very well yet, so we're just going to do the English. But we're going to jump into that. Oh, shalom, Rivka. Good to see you. All right, ready, everyone? I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening, we are opening, we are opening, we are opening, we are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening, we are opening, we are opening, we are opening. One more time. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening, we are opening, we are opening, we are opening, we are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. And why are we opening? We are opening so we may become a sanctuary of the Holy One in the world. So our hands become the hands of the Holy One, and our eyes the eyes of the Holy One, and our bodies the body of the Holy One. So every step we take, everything we see, and everything we do is an act of the Holy One in the world. And now we segue, hopefully gracefully, into the other song I wanted to share with you all tonight. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, good and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Hashem, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. One more time. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, good and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Amen. If you want to hear a really amazing version of that, check out Romamu's SoundCloud page. They have recorded a live version of them doing it in Shul. Ugh, one of the most beautiful things you'll ever hear. Your soul just completely flies when you hear it. Very beautiful. Actually, I learned this version of the song up at Elat Chaim, Isabella Friedman. Many names that retreat center goes by, and the same people who I learned it from up there actually are part of Romamu, which is in New York City, and so worlds coming together. And it actually turns out that a very old friend of mine, who's actually the now ex-wife of a good friend of a friend, was one of the founders of Romamu. I didn't even know that, which was amazing. And yes, let me find that for you guys really quickly. I'm sure I can find that fast. So, all right, if you go here, hold on, it's soundcloud.com/Romamu. And what you want to do is look for Sanctuary. It's in there somewhere. It's part of their stream. It might be a little weird to find just because it's going to be buried somewhere in there. There's lots of droshes and other things that are in there. But I know Sanctuary is in there because I found it recently, and it's just such a beautiful version. Sher Yaakov and all the other people there who lead music, including one of my favorite people and teachers, Shoshana Jedwab. They all have done amazing work, and they've been using SoundCloud so incredibly beautifully, and just sharing their unique voice with the world. I'm a big fan of Romamu and the work they do. I've gotten to go a couple of times when I happen to be in New York. I also want to shamelessly mention for a moment that actually I have been doing lots and lots on Romamu, on SoundCloud lately. So lots of chants have been popping into my head lately. So I definitely want to share those with you all. One in particular that you might want to take a look at is the Jewish Winter Solstice song. The words are by my teacher, Jill Hammer. The music is mine. So, mine. That sounded really weird, sorry. So take a listen to that one. I'm very happy about that one. That made me, that was just, I love that one. I was trying to see if I could find it really quickly, but I am not finding Romamu's version of Sanctuary fast. Shoot, I've got it somewhere. I'll try and post it to Facebook or Twitter or something else soon. Let's see, wait. Taste of Romamu, maybe it's hiding in there. Oh, lots of good music in there too. If you look at their Taste of Romamu set, there's all kinds of really just beautiful, beautiful things in there. And they even have a, oh, look at that, they have an album now, because they're slick like that. So definitely take a look, see what they've got going on there. So as always, you can find me at peelapalm.com, on Twitter at peelapalm, on Facebook at facebook.com/peelapalm. Hey, on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/peelapalm, if you're noticing a theme. And actually a fun new thing that I've started playing with, and might be doing something real with at some point, not sure when. If you notice my, here, I'll move it up to the camera. My Star of David tonight is actually from a photograph. Wait, I can't turn it right, camera. I took of my pomegranate tree as it was blooming and starting to fruit, and the first stars from the pomegranate tree started to appear. When a pomegranate blossom begins to turn into a fruit, you see a star right in it. There's a perfect six-pointed star that appears. So since my whole thing has been peeling a pomegranate for quite a long time, and I decided that I wanted the Star of David that I'm wearing to be a perfectly earth-based one that is also of the pomegranate tree. So I'm starting to try making little necklaces of it. So if you're interested, let me know. I'm just kind of playing around, but if you want one, let me know. So there's lots and lots of good stuff going on. Please remember that you are indeed the One Shul community. Many of you here tonight are the volunteers. I don't have to tell you that. But everybody is welcome. You can write for punktorah. There's a whole new kids section, so if you have kids, do check that out. You can lead services, you can lead workshops. If you happen to be in the Atlanta, Georgia area in the United States, Patrick has been doing One Shul Live. He's been doing Carl Bach style Kabbalat Shabbat, I believe in his apartment. So if you're there, please check that out with him. I am vaguely considering maybe after Passover starting working with Patrick on the idea of the occasional One Shul Washington, so here in DC. And I've been whispering in his ear about a few, well, virtually because he's not here, I'm texting him or emailing him, about a couple of other fun ideas to bring our community together physically in embodied together, because I would love to do that at some point, and I think it could be really fun and exciting. So if you like the idea of bringing all of our bodies into the same physical place, then definitely let Patrick know, because that'll help him know if that's something he should prioritize or not. And Ari, yes, that is the right link. That is their version of it, Sanctuary Song. So that is lots of stuff going on. Check the calendars out. And please definitely explore everything that's going on. SoundCloud, if you haven't looked at it, is so amazing. It's such a great resource. And whether you have great technical skills like the folks at Romamu do, or you're like me and you grab your phone and you're just recording on your phone, there's room for everybody on SoundCloud. Funny, just like here at Wunschel and Punktorah. The last thing I'm going to do is the official, because it's not Shabbat, so I am going to do it. Oh, Brian, talk to him about West Coast. We need some more West Coast service leaders too. I know it's really early for you guys. So we need some West Coast folks leading services, so it's on the right time for you. So last bit of the evening here, I do want to say for everybody, you know, it does take a little bit of money to keep the lights on. Most of us are volunteers. Very few people are getting paid doing this. We do it because we love it and we believe in it. But we like Patrick to get paid at least, because he's doing this and putting his entire life into it. And you know, if we had enough money, maybe some of the rest of us could do this full time. Can you even imagine what Wunschel and Punktorah could be if there was enough money coming in for a staff of even 5 people? But it costs money to keep the lights on, literally the stream's streaming, the website's running, and all of the programming going with just the little pieces here and there. So anything you can donate would be absolutely amazing, whether it's $5, $50, $500, whatever you can do to help keep things rolling would be fantastic. And there's so many ways to get involved. So if you want to get involved in some way and you're not, email patrick@punktorah.org and let him know what you want to do. And you know, the simplest thing you can do, you don't even have to ask Patrick about it, is comment on blog posts, comment on videos people are posting. We love it, and it makes us feel great when somebody even says that was interesting, or you are crazy, don't ever write something like that again. Well, we can live with that too. We're Jewish. We like to argue, or at least debate. So that is it for tonight. Chodesh Tov. I hope you all have a wonderful month to come. Keep an eye on the moon changing, because I'll be back when it starts to get really dark again for our next Rosh Chodesh. And I'm actually back next week because I had to switch my Kabbalat Shabbat schedule. So I am, not next week, tomorrow. I'm back with you all again for Kabbalat Shabbat. Hopefully with a slightly updated service. We'll see if I have time tomorrow to finish that up. So Chodesh Tov, everybody. Have a great night. And if I don't see you tomorrow night, have a great month to come.